What's going on, guys? Welcome back to No Reserve Radio. So last week, my birthday was actually last week. As it turns out, I spent my birthday in bed with a 103-degree fever. It was real bad, probably the sickest I've ever been. Angelo and Austin decided not to do the episode without me for whatever reason. I think they just don't have the charisma to do it without me. But we're in the clear now. I still don't feel the best, but it's been a week. We wanted to get back on the saddle, so we are back. Before we get to anything, we just have to talk about what just happened. So we're getting ready to record here, and Angelo, who, full disclosure, saw Star Wars for the first time like 3 or 4 years ago, and it is a meme in our friend group to talk about the fact that Angelo doesn't watch movies, doesn't watch TV, he doesn't know anything about them. Just attempted to movie shame Austin and I
Well
because we
deserved
have.
too.
Is it?
It was well deserved.
What movie were you shaming us that we haven't seen yet?
Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. It's a great movie. Great movie.
I have a question. Have you seen Shrek?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I was about to just lose it.
I didn't even think about that. That's a good call out. So yeah, I still feel terrible. Horrible, really. But we're gonna do this. Austin, you have the question of the week, I believe.
Yes. All right. Give me the most recent example of you being humbled.
Oh God.
I already gave that not last week's, but the weeks before episode.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's tough.
It
Yep.
shouldn't.
Angelo's taking the cop out.
Pretty much.
I can't think of one.
Yikes.
Yeah.
He blocks it out.
To be fair, I'm probably the most arrogant person you know.
He blocked it out. It's okay. I block it out too. I get it.
It's so you can't
I
learn
get it.
unless you're humbled.
Nah. Learning's overrated.
I learned how old but yet young I am at the same time.
You're old.
People in my work were talking about I don't know, it was just some like stupid game on the phone. And they asked me if I played it, and I had no idea what it was, anything. And like everyone else was playing, and I just felt so old. I felt like you too.
Oh no. Okay, wow. Okay, so
That's harsh.
Get humbled.
The last time I was humbled, I actually have an answer to. So at my work, we decided to do a Final Four bracket or a March Madness bracket. I am the only one that is legitimately a basketball fan, and I also was eliminated from even having two teams in the Final Four on day one of the games, and I am currently sitting in last place.
Purdue versus who?
Well, I didn't have Purdue in the Final Four.
Oh, really?
Final Four? No. The problem is so like statistically, you should always put one seed, two seeds in your Final Four, right? I couldn't decide, and I ended up putting, so like my Final Four, I don't have it in front of me. I had Texas, KU,
Yikes.
Zona, who I had winning it all, and they were eliminated on day one.
Yikes.
I can't remember who the other one was, but yeah, they were all up there. So yeah, I got absolutely destroyed.
Yikes.
I decided not to do a bracket, and Alexis even did a work bracket, and she's like, "I'm not going to use you. That wouldn't be fair." And I was like, "Ha, ha, ha, yeah, totally."
Angelo follow college basketball. I mean,
I don't follow college football. Let alone
Yeah, same
I
here.
mean, I'm gonna need you both to at least like have a little bit of knowledge in the off season so we can talk draft.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I don't
no.
know, go watch some highlight videos or something. But
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we'll do that.
so this is just gonna be kind of a free form, fun episode. Get us back in the swing of things before we get back on the topic next week.
Playoffs. Will be
Playoffs. We'll talk playoffs. So one thing I wanted to ask you guys, this is something that I thought about this morning, and I was gonna just ask in the group chat, but
Sure.
I decided to save it for tonight.
What's up?
So this can be at any point in time, but I mostly want to think about, or I want to talk about the modern era. But what are some of your guys' favorite NBA signatures? So,
Like Steph Curry's
like for
dance
Steph
shit.
Curry, it would be right now. It's his like shooting. Like he looks like a 2K player. Like he shoots and then he turns around and walks away.
Oh, you mean
Or
the big leg stomps?
yeah, or the
Uh,
like LeBron
LeBron's.
James
Yeah.
tomahawks. Like the James Harden step back. Like, what are some of your favorite, either all time or current, signature moves, signature scoring moves, signature celebrations? Um, because I was watching a video and it was like, it rated all of these, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I was questioning some of them because, like, even if you think certain things are better than other things or take more skill, I think there has to be, when it comes to signature moves, that transcending kind of thing, right?
I
So,
guess it's true.
like your top five should be like the Dirk fadeaway. Uh,
Yeah.
it should include that. It should
That was
include,
mine.
yeah, I knew that was gonna be yours, but it should include like that. It should include the LeBron
Dumbo's
tomahawk,
finger
right?
wag.
Um, but the number one has to be the Michael Jordan free throw dunk. It has to
Oh
be,
yeah.
because that
It
has
has to be
transcended the
up
game.
there.
It isn't. It was like not even in the top five on this list, and it kind of annoyed me because you could tell this person was a, I hate to say LeBron stan, because he actually put LeBron's fadeaway above that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, let's just talk about signature moves and
Oh,
which ones we like, which ones we don't.
I don't know what this guy's list is, but I will say this: when I think of signature moves, if I'm going to list them, I want something that's going to be more demoralizing than the
Mhm.
Right.
rest. So, like Allen Iverson's crossover, if it breaks you, that has to be up there.
Yeah,
Steph
it was.
Curry's, yeah, okay. Steph Curry's ability to whatever you want to do, the signature stomp, the three, the fadeaway three, whatever you want to do for Steph Curry has to be up there because that is so demoralizing. So, but at the same time, yes, you have to put either LeBron's, not his fadeaway, like a LeBron tomahawk dunk or MJ's free throw dunk up there because those are also equally demoralizing.
So mine, or at least the first one, I'm gonna like say would actually be Rondo's yo-yo fake pass, and it's kind of for that same reason, because no matter how many times the man has done it in his career, it still gets people.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Um, outside of that, like if I'm going all time, I think Manu's Euro step. That's one that shouldn't
That's a good one.
necessarily be a signature, but he really did bring it to the Western game.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair to say it is a signature move. Um,
So
I don't
here's
know.
a question: do you put anyone's post game in there? Is like
Oh, 100%. Tim
Kareem
Duncan
Skyhook.
bank shot.
Kareem Scott? Yeah, we'll go on.
Tim Duncan bank shots.
Tim Duncan. Yeah,
That low block.
that was a good one. Is Powell on there? Paul Gasol? Because I'm pretty. No. Yeah, Powell had the elbow, the elbow jump. Well, that's not really a signature.
You could argue LeBron. Or sorry, I was going off on a tangent.
You're good.
LeBron's chase down block.
Oh, the Dream Shake.
The Dream Shake. That's exactly what I was thinking.
You know
I thought
what's
I was
funny
gonna-
is the best person to execute the Dream Shake actually is Kyrie Irving. There's been a few times where he's done something that you would consider the Dream Shake. Not necessarily like in the low block, but just a little outside of it, and it mind-numbing to watch how good he is at it.
Yeah, that's true. Little guy can do it.
What? So I think every player has to have a signature. It's hard to identify some of them. Like, what would you say Kevin Durant's signature is, or Luka Doncic's? Doncic's.
I feel like Katie's is the pull up midi.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. Luka's is kind of weird because Luka will like start you slow, get you moving, and then like body you. Like he'll get to his spot, especially if you're smaller. He'll get to his spot by just physicality. He doesn't have, as much. I don't mean to say slow, but he doesn't have, the speed to
Burst.
get to his spot. Yeah, yeah. His burst is good. I'm just saying, like general speed.
What do you think about the fact that he could be the highest?
What about step back? What about Luka's step back?
Oh yeah, that probably works. I don't know. He's just one of those players that's just so good at everything that
Yeah.
he never like. Yeah.
Luka's signature, lack of defense.
Oof.
Ouch! Shots fired.
We got to talk about the Mavericks at some point too. By the way.
I know.
Yes, it's inevitable.
I was gonna bring that up next because the next thing I've got pulled up is the NBA standings, and yeah.
So I'm gonna spoil something. So Austin's idea, if we were gonna do a show, was hot takes, and I'll give you what my spiciest one would have been, and it's actually starting to come to fruition because I felt this in my soul. My hot take was, if the Lakers made it to the play-in tournament and won the play-in tournament and played the Nuggets in the first round, they would beat the Nuggets.
No.
Feel it in my soul, man. If it happens, I feel it in my soul. I'm telling you.
The Lakers is one team I've written off, but I realize I probably shouldn't have now.
I'm not writing off the Lakers.
In my soul.
So
Except you just said no. Okay, go on. Sorry.
I'm not writing off the Lakers because they still could make it cleanly into it.
It's gonna happen.
Nuggets are too good. The Nuggets are too good.
I feel it in my soul, man. I'm telling you.
Like when they had Ross, absolutely write him off. Like,
oh
they're
yeah,
done.
100%.
But the moment they traded the tank commander,
They looked a lot better the moment they lost LeBron and they made a run and now they're, I believe, if not mistaken, they're sitting at the 8th seed in threat of taking the 7th seed.
yeah,
Yes,
because
they're
Russell
one game
Westbrook,
behind.
Russell Westbrook is that guy for tanking. So let's go ahead and talk about the standings a little bit here anyway.
Yeah, secured. Let's go. I was actually Oh, sorry, go on. I was actually reading something that said this is the first time the Cavs have made the playoffs without LeBron since like 1990. Go on. Sorry.
So we had a few teams secure their playoff spot, which makes sense. So the Bucks already secured their division.
Yep.
The Celtics, 76ers, and Cavs are currently clinched for the playoffs.
Yep.
That is the East. The West is still up for grabs a little bit, so the Nuggets and Grizzlies each clinched their division. But who else in the West clinched a playoff spot already? Anyone?
I know it.
It was the Kings. It was the
Kings.
Kings.
The drought is over. Look, you have to. He shouldn't win it by any stretch of the imagination, but Domantas Sabonis has to get at least 1 or 2 MVP votes.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Coach of the Year, and I was about to say Coach of the Year probably should be a given for the Kings coach.
Oh no,
Anyway,
100%. But in terms of just Sabonis has played out of his mind and just
oh yeah,
so the Mavs.
What if he
Let's
gets an MIP?
who gets MIP? Oh,
What if Sabonis gets MIP?
what if Sabonis gets MIP? He shouldn't. He absolutely shouldn't. No one who was an all-star last year and this year should win MIP. John Morant broke the award.
I was
That
about to
doesn't mean
say job.
Yeah.
that doesn't mean we should continue it.
That's
The MIP should go to someone that's actually deserving of saying they're most improved. A superstar player playing like a superstar player is not an improvement. I don't care if it's someone going from 25 points per game to 30 points per game. I don't care. That's not no. No. Yeah, you just threw off my whole train of thought with that.
Yeah.
We did good, Austin. We did good.
Yes. See, this is why we
Anger.
couldn't do a show without you.
This is
We don't have
really
anyone to make fun of.
This is really it. Yeah.
So the Mavs.
Yes.
Luka could be the highest scoring player to miss the playoffs. That is
Don't remind me.
Who foresaw the collapse after the Kyrie trade, though?
I was kind of skeptical.
Hi.
If
Me.
you remember, I brought up, I said, should we be worried?
And I said, yeah. they mortgaged their future on a man that is kind of crazy. Yeah. I rewriting the tape. I 100% was questioning that trade when it happened. Granted, Luka hasn't done himself any favors. They do have an easy schedule coming up. I think they actually I think they actually have one of the easiest schedules remaining.
They have Heat, Hawks, Kings, Bulls, Spurs,
Wow, that is a lot of soft teams.
and then the Kings.
That's another soft team. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so their toughest opponent is the Kings,
Yep.
followed by the Heat.
And they have the Pelicans and Thunder ahead of them.
Yeah, so
Oh my God, the Thunder. They have to face the Pacers, the Suns, the Warriors, the Jazz, which is and then the Grizzlies.
I mean the worst is
The Grizzled.
New Orleans has a tough schedule. Toronto has the Bucks, the Celtics twice, the 76ers, and the Hornets twice. Yikes. I mean,
Wait,
the
who had them?
Hornets are-
Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto. Like Charlotte's whatever, but
Yeah,
I would
sure.
like play the Hornets twice. Oh. What?
The Wizards
What?
have a weak team.
Yes, the Wizards are very weak, but do you mean they have a weak schedule?
Yes, that's the word.
What? Hold on. Rewind.
What?
What? 2 weeks ago, Angelo, what were we talking about that we wanted Austin's input on?
Oh God.
My
Oh man.
brain is melted. What were we talking about 2 weeks ago? What was the topic? It was very heated.
It was very heated.
Uh,
I honestly don't remember. There's so much that has gone on in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a
Oh.
ordeal. I'm like racking my brain right now though.
Oh man.
Hold on, let me pull up my history. This
This
is
is
gonna
rough.
bother me though, because I do want Austin's input on whatever it was.
Okay.
Wasn't it about load management?
It was load management, but what was it?
But what was it?
Listen, man, you got that out of me, man. That's better than a
That's
lot of
all
people
we
have
got.
gotten out of me the last week.
I did the heavy lifting here, Ren.
Yes.
Um.
Something about other sports not resting their players
Okay.
as much as.
So, what do you think about it? It's because they're proposing putting minimum games required towards awards,
Yes, I
right?
heard about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're on the right track.
Okay, we're on the right track here. So, what we were talking about was how many games should that be? And then we were talking about like career longevity and does load management actually do anything towards longevity? Angelo wholeheartedly believes it does, even though Dirk Nowitzki didn't take no load management, Tom Brady didn't take no load management, but hey, if not playing a game extends Kawhi's career by a game in the future, go for it, because he's super healthy as it is. So what
Okay.
is your opinion on load management? And do you think players should be expected to play 80% of their team's games, 90% of their team's
I was
games,
about to say
whatever?
you were arguing for more about 90. So glad
What
you
were you arguing for, Angelo?
that. Okay, so
Because I have a
every
number that came straight into my head, so I want to know what
did
your
you
number
really?
was.
Okay, every player is different and every player's body is different. So that like I don't think it's a rudimentary number. I think you need to take it on a case by case basis. Generally.
But
It's gonna be
my
too
argument,
hard.
my argument is that you are joining the NBA or professional sports, right? You're understanding these risks, right? You don't become a firefighter and then decide, I don't want to fight fires today. Oh, that's too hot. I don't want to do that. I'm warm today. Like, you're understanding what you're doing when you get into it, okay? When you become an entertainer of any kind, people are paying good money to come see you. Can you imagine if you went to see the Avengers in theater and Chris Evans, Captain America, decided, you know what? I'm going to take a mental health day. I don't want to show up for work.
So
And
you
then,
don't think Chris Evans took a mental health day during any recording days?
but what I'm saying is if that was prevalent in theater, because again, you're going to pay to watch this. And so if in that big final battle, Captain America's not there fighting Thanos because, he's just not feeling like it today.
I
You're
think
let
that
down as a fan because you're paying money to see that, right? If you're an NBA player, you have fans showing up to games with your name on their back, your number on their back. And if you are healthy and you are saying, I'm not playing in this game because my little toe is a little tight today, you are doing a disservice to your fans. You're doing a disservice to the people that are paying good money to come watch you because that is what they're there for.
so. I was actually thinking about this and why I, kind of have this opinion. And I thought about all the sporting events I have seen historically and go to now. And I realized that the vast majority of the time when I have paid money to see an event, I did it multiple times for the sport that you go to the arena, the ballpark, whatever you want to call it, where the players on the field is the attraction, don't get me wrong, but it isn't the only attraction. So, spoiler alert, the sport I've paid the most money to see in my life is baseball. And it's a different I don't know. To me, the allure to a baseball game isn't just the players on the field. It's also the different foods at each stadium, how each stadium is different, the different sites you can see at each stadium. So I guess maybe that's also part of why I feel that way, because at the same time, like, the thing that incentivizes me to pay money to go to see a sporting event is the players isn't the only thing. And that's kind of where
Right.
your argument is. The players should be the only thing that you're,
No, no. There's the whole spectacle of sports. There is more to the game than just the players. What I'm arguing is that there is an expectation, right? So if the Pacers and the Mavs come up on the schedule and I'm like, you know what, I want to go see Luca. I want to go watch this game because I can go any other Tuesday and watch the Pacers versus the Heat, right? But this game, I've circled this game on my calendar because I want to go watch Luca because I don't get to watch Luca more than once a year because he's only in Indiana once a year, and I go to that game as a basketball fan. And then Luca and Kyrie rest, and the Mavs B squad gets dominated by the Pacers, which shouldn't happen. It's done a
yeah, because the
disservice.
Pacers suck.
It's done a disservice both as a fan and as what I paid for. That's the point I'm making. Is it's not because I thankfully have a disposable income. Like I have the ability to say I'm going to go to this game. Not a lot of people have that. I'm very fortunate. I got very lucky in life. I am aware of that. Those people that live literally paycheck to paycheck, who are, this is a birthday gift they got, or this was a Christmas gift, or this was a little special something that they threw together after saving up money for it, and you're going to sit because you don't feel like playing, not because you're actually hurt, but because you don't feel like it. That is a problem. No matter
I don't,
how you spin it, it is a problem.
I don't see it as a problem. Like, I don't. I guess I just don't see the perspective because I'm not that kind of person who, if I paid to see a Cavs game and LeBron wasn't there, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't be sad about it. I really wouldn't.
I do. Okay, let's. We already did this. Austin.
Yes.
What is your opinion on the matter? Because Angelo and I did this for like 30 minutes last
Yeah.
week ago.
I actually, funny
Um,
story. I do have something that it's not involving basketball, but it kind of involves what you're saying. Go on, though, Austin. Austin first. Austin first.
Austin first. Yay, my turn
Yeah.
finally. Um, I don't like the idea of load management personally. I think it's a crap excuse. If they're coming back from an injury, totally makes sense. But if you're just saying, like Ren said, my pinky toe hurts, it's a BS excuse. And I think if the league itself wants to commit to load management, then you need to decide beforehand and give like ample, I guess, what's the word I'm trying to say that I can't think of?
Warning.
Warning, thank you. Ample warning, ample notice that this player is going to be load managing so that people can make those adjustments to their schedule.
Well, here's my counter. I'll give you a counter perspective. If you are a fan, whether casual or not, and you go to see a particular player, let's say you're a Kawhi fan, okay? Do you
But okay.
believe, huh?
Said ill, but okay.
Do you believe that the casual fan of Kawhi or the Clippers that are a Clippers fan because of Kawhi understand that load management is a huge part of his regimen and that he's probably not playing in back-to-back games and that in and of itself is not a notice?
But it
I
shouldn't be part of his regimen is the point.
yeah,
Like
it's just not a valid thing.
that's
At least
the
in my
thing is
opinion, obviously.
if you so let's what percentage of games do you think are back to backs? Like
Oh God.
spitball roughly
Let's say 40%.
40. I think it's probably way lower than that, but we'll say
Think so?
40. So So let's go with that because that
I
is
was just
gonna make
counting
this
both games, but go
that's
on. Sorry.
gonna make this a
Let's
way more
say
evident.
40.
So let's say you are paid salary, Angelo.
Yep.
Okay, you show up to work 50% of the time.
Yep.
Do you think you should be getting your full salary?
Yes.
Mm.
I'm salaried. Whether I had this with a manager, whether she worked literally, let's see, there's 365 days a year. She probably worked 120 of them. She got her full salary. When you
No.
sign that contract, you agree to pay that person that money for that year,
There is an
whether you like it or not.
expectation. There is
So
an
there are only
expectation.
15. Sorry, there's only each team has a minimum of 12 and a maximum of 15 back-to-back season.
So what percentage of 82 is that?
Like
I don't know.
12, 20.
Calculator.
Let's
Calculated.
No, it's a lot less than that.
Yeah.
that's tiny. But
12 divided by 82. 14%, 15%.
oh wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So 12%, 20. Okay. Anyway.
we'll say 15%. So I just this isn't a regular job, right? This is an entertainment job. If you go to a concert and the lead singer decides, I'm not going to perform tonight, I just don't feel like it, you're paying to go see that performer. It doesn't matter if the rest of the band shows up because that person isn't there and they don't have an excuse to not be there. It's immaturity. Because again, Michael Jordan didn't load manage. Larry Bird didn't load manage. Tom Brady didn't load manage. Wayne Gretzky didn't load manage. Like, the actual great players don't need to load manage.
The actual
And
great
if they were
players.
born before 1989, apparently.
Steph Curry doesn't load manage.
They don't build them like they used to.
I don't know.
And that's kind of the point, is there's these coddled athletes right now. And it's only really, as far as I'm aware, in basketball, because in hockey, like, those guys are playing like entire playoff series with broken wrists because,
Yeah, they take a puck to the mouth and get back out there in the next play.
yeah, like, that's just
That's different sports. That's
but
that's another thing. Basketball is in an interesting situation where you
where it's
it's
the
hard.
least physical of the major professional sports in North America. Well, no, or baseball, but it's the second least physical sport in major North American sports. And the players, some of them, because not all of them, because Steph Curry doesn't load manage.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if not all of them, why is it a problem then? Why is it a problem
Because it's
then?
enough.
Why is it a problem if certain players don't load manage, but certain players do because they feel like they need to? Why is that a problem? If not everyone does it, why do you need rules preventing it if only a certain amount of players do it?
Because enough are doing it that it's creating an issue. Because enough players are doing it that it is someone, like, we can say Kawhi load managed, or I could say someone load managed, and you can think Kawhi. It is a reoccurring problem. There is no, so give me a legitimate reason why, or an example where load management was beneficial towards the elongation of a player's career.
That's kind of a loaded question because load management hasn't really been a thing till recently, so you're not
But
gonna have.
but John Stockton missed like 5 games. He never load managed.
Load management wasn't a thing. These players
Right.
that you're talking
Right.
about, load management
But
wasn't an idea yet.
that's the point I'm trying to make to you, is
But
why wasn't load management a thing? Because
just
it's not needed.
just because the older players didn't do it doesn't mean the idea is inherently a bad or poor idea.
But it does. We have plenty of evidence just in players' careers. Vince Carter didn't load manage. He's a modern player by certain definitions of the word.
So yeah,
I was
sir.
gonna say modern-ish.
He just retired a couple years ago. Shut up. Leave me alone.
Hired at like
But there's that
43 or
overlap. There,
45.
right, and he didn't load manage.
He came up in an era where it didn't.
But
He
that's the point
literally
I'm
was a
trying
bench
to
rider to end his career. Why would you have to load manage if you're a bench player?
Why would you
You
have
do
to?
not have problem. If a bench player decided to load manage, you would not have a single problem. The only reason you have a problem is because of a player the caliber of Kawhi doing it. But,
Yes.
but
Was Vince Carter always a bench player? Or, or are we going to acknowledge the fact that he was all NBA? We're going to ignore
Nope.
that?
I'm not saying Vince was a bad. I'm just saying when Vince was coming up, load management wasn't an idea or a thing.
Okay,
That
okay.
was
But what you're not grasping here is what you're saying. Vince, okay, let's go through a logical progression here, okay?
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay.
oh, this
So,
guy.
Vince Carter retired at what, 42 years old? Okay.
It was some ridiculous
So,
age for
Ancient.
a player.
so,
Yeah.
so Vince Carter came up during a time where load management wasn't a thing, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so you're following along so far, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, it's not like
Sending.
2012 happened and then suddenly players needed load management to not get hurt. It doesn't matter if they weren't load managing when Vince Carter was playing, if Vince Carter didn't need load management to play a long career. Do you not understand why that doesn't make any sense whatsoever? You can keep saying, oh, those players played in a time when load management wasn't a thing. That doesn't disprove the fact that they were playing 82 games multiple seasons. They weren't missing games with injury. So your
Maybe
argument
it's
that load management prevents injuries, prolongs careers, doesn't make sense. No matter how many times you say, well, they didn't do load management back then. That doesn't matter. They weren't getting
How
injured. They were having long careers.
okay, how many what ifs do you have in older times? Like, God, I'm trying to remember someone
I'm
like
thinking
Pete
of the
Maravich.
speed of the
Go ahead.
game.
Also,
The game's a lot faster now.
The game's
Yeah.
also a
Maybe
lot
the
less physical.
speed. That's fair. I got nothing to retort that. That's fair.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying
I tried.
he's only using players. You act like there was never a what if scenario where injuries didn't derail a player's career. God, I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head. I wish I would have researched
Calm
it that we
down.
were
Now,
gonna. I
most,
thought it was just gonna be Austin's input, but there was a
So did
player
I.
who basically had to play the rest of his career because modern medicine wasn't at the point where it couldn't properly diagnose and heal his injury, and he had to play a whole career with that, and it really shortened his career and made him perform much worse. Like that, just because you have really, 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 really great players who avoided major injuries and avoided, you know, not having to load manage because it wasn't a thing, and avoiding. I don't know how I'm trying to say this, but just because load management wasn't a thing back then doesn't mean A, players didn't get hurt back then, B, there wasn't situations where players didn't have extremely short careers or lowered peaks because of injuries plaguing them throughout their career that they just didn't do because you're a tough guy, you need to go fight through it. That doesn't mean that it didn't need to be a thing back then either.
hold on, I might be able to actually find these numbers. Give me 1 second.
This guy.
See, I thought this was just gonna be like a Austin's opinion, and then like talk about the awards.
Yeah, talk, Austin. Talk about load management.
So while Rehn does
His
research
research,
to try to put Angelo into the ground,
research and development.
yeah, for the award limit, I think it should be you should have to play X amount of games to qualify for an award.
What's the game?
Angelo,
Wow,
what? I was thinking like 50%. Mine was a lot less
that's
than
not
I'm sure
bad.
what yours were.
That's not bad.
I
This
think
is going to take
I
me
mean,
a longer amount of
things
time to
happen,
find.
but in my opinion, I think keep it low just in case there's like a super outlier player. But like, if you're only playing half the games, you're not going to be at that award caliber level. So I think it just opens the door in case there is someone that goes absolutely insane and it gets derailed. For
So
whatever
this is
reason.
going to take me a lot more time than we have tonight because I'm not doing this all in one night, but I am going to
Yeah.
do it.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to get the average number of games played in various random seasons through the decades, just to prove a point.
Don't worry, folks. Rehn will post the Excel spreadsheet on in a little bit. We'll put a full rundown on how to read it on YouTube. Don't worry.
So basically, the point I'm making is, yes, we've had big men with injury problems, and off the top of my head, like Kevin McHale, Greg Oden. Yes, there have been very large human beings that have had short careers derailed by injuries. Abso-freaking-lutely. It comes with the territory of being above 7 feet tall, unfortunately. It was also during a very physical time when the post game was very prevalent, and there was a lot of up and down on the block being done.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that would be great as a argument in favor or against load management because, like, Rick Smits, for example, is 7'4", 7'3", something like that. His injury plagued problems were predominantly because of how big he was, and it wasn't the reason you would think. It's the fact that prior to a certain point in history, shoes were not being made for players that tall, and he was chronically playing with shoes that were too small for his feet. It caused a lot of nerve damage. Whether or not he took load management, that wouldn't change anything. But again, if you can find me an example of a star player prior to the Kawhi debacle, because that's all it is. It's Kawhi thinking he knows better than medical professionals. I'll concede my point, but you won't. These players are given the best medical care money can buy. The problem is, as we saw with San Antonio and then with Toronto, he thinks he knows better. He is like Kyrie in the fact that he thinks he's the smartest person in any room he walks into. Guilty of that myself, not gonna say I'm not, but when it comes to things like medicine, I'm gonna trust people that have dedicated their lives to it. Because yeah, there's no excuse to missing time for no reason. None. So that was
That's what I'm gonna say.
another week of that. That was supposed to just be getting Austin's opinion on that. What do you guys want to talk about now?
I don't
Oh,
know.
we're kind of just biding time until the playoffs. That's when.
Yeah, it's been it's a
It'll
slow
be
week
fun.
because like the
Why did I
teams that
send
are
it in our
in
chat?
the teams that are in tank mode are like obviously in tank mode, and everyone else is just kind of.
I mean, the Pacers kind of have an off chance. Technically, the
No, I think Miles Turner is down for the remaining week,
okay.
and Halliburton is still coming back from an injury. So, like, yeah,
You guys are
Benedict
done.
Mathurin and Andrew Nemhard have been playing amazing. Like, okay, I'm gonna go on that subject real quick. I have not been a fan of the Pacers ownership or managing since well, really ever. I'm not a fan of Herb Simon at all. He refuses to spend money, but Kevin Pritchard really deserves a look for Executive of the Year just for the fact that he basically got blood out of a stone. Andrew Nemhard, obviously an amazing pickup. He's probably going to make the all-rookie second team. Aaron Neesmith, great pickup. And then Jordan Nwara was the part of the throw-in trade with the Bucks when the Pacers were taking on the salary.
Mhm.
Dude has averaged above 20 points since he's been with the Pacers. He had 25 points in a single quarter the other night. Like, Pritchard has not been a great drafting GM, but the man has fleeced GMs on the trade market.
Yeah, I mean he's done great, honestly. But so far, granted, record isn't all the results, but so far it hasn't given you
a
like
young team.
results of a winning record
He has
yet.
a young team, though, so
Yeah, it's a young team, yeah. But is that concerning to you in the sense that, if the trend of not being able to draft, well, granted, I mean you got Matherin, but would the
yeah,
trend of not being able to draft, caliber players concern you with the core that you have now, even if the core
no.
develops? No?
Right now, no. Unless, like, we won the lottery and moved up to, like, the third or second spot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't trust management of this franchise to make the right choice there. I think that, like, 5 to 8 is perfect for him because all of the, like, debatable picks are typically gone
Mm-hmm.
because all those players that this or that you're playing, that typically falls off after the first 5. So
Not fair.
I could see, like, don't get me wrong, Shaden Sharp, great, whatever. But definitely a questionable pick. And if the Pacers were in the top 4, they probably would have taken him. But with the current core, I think at this point you're just looking to add pieces and just waiting for them to develop because, like, Tyrese Halliburton's only 23 years old.
Yeah.
That's the future of the franchise. Like, so yeah, no, I'm not super worried about it. Who? Ooh, SGA jumps to number 6 in NBA MVP voting.
Yeah. Yeah. If the NBA wanted to continue make most improved a sham award, then they can give that to SGA too, by the way.
I mean, so here's the thing. I don't think that would be a sham award. So my definition of MVP, and maybe this comes from hockey, is it's the most valuable player to a team, right?
Uh-huh.
So if your
Oh.
team makes it into the playoffs and you're the sole reason they did it because you were playing immaculate two-way basketball, you are the most valuable player, hands down. If you are on a team, like, one of the things that frustrates me, okay, is I think it was 2 years ago, when, like, LeBron and Anthony Davis were getting MVP votes. That makes no sense. How can you be on a team and be the MVP when your teammate is also on the MVP ballot?
So I
That
don't
makes
think
no sense.
you heard what I was saying. I was saying giving SGA the most improved, not the MVP.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see, I was talking about MVP.
No.
Okay.
No, he rightfully deserves MVP votes, no doubt. But no, I was talking about, if
Well,
you
let's
want
look at the
Good in my
most
opinion.
improved.
to. I mean,
Let's see.
if you want to continue giving it to superstars, SGA is a lock for that.
Yeah.
I really, really hope they don't.
So
Like, obviously, if Tyrese Halliburton were to win it, I would be like happy, but like I would be like, eh. Like Lauri Markkanen, I'm fine if Lauri Markkanen wins it. I think that is a great pick.
yeah,
In fact,
Lord Markin should definitely.
yeah, he should be
Yeah, I think he
he
gets
should be
it.
the favorite, hands down.
100%.
In fact, if he doesn't win it, it's rigged.
It's rigged.
Rigged. It's got to be him. The only other person would be maybe Jalen Brunson.
Oh, I got
Right.
something to talk about.
Oh,
Okay.
go for it.
Let's
Bring
go
it.
for it.
So, I need to double check something, but you probably will know.
Oh baby.
Do you think Jokic is still a lock for MVP after how he's been playing?
No. This is
Yes.
exactly what I said was going to happen. It's going to happen. No. You're about to lose it. You're going to lose it. It's happening. It's happening.
It's not.
The profit has come for Nikola Jokic, and
If I remember correctly, he's been doing very bad lately.
Uh-huh. Did you
Very bad.
see? I don't. Man.
Time out. No. Time out.
I-
No.
Objectively very bad, Ren.
Objectively, 25 points on 8 and 11 shooting last night with 17 rebounds and 12 assists is objectively bad. Hold on.
Jokic's last 10.
So
No. Shut up, Angelo. We are fighting this battle right now.
was it okay? Didn't I'm getting my thoughts mixed up. Was it Embiid who said something about, I just go out there and play. I don't have to stat pad for awards, and he was referring to Jokic stat padding for the triple doubles.
Jokic doesn't stat pad at all.
I thought you were saying that. No.
Well, did Embiid say something like that? I could have swore he did, but maybe
but his freaking
did.
Twitter handle is Troel Embiid.
Fair.
So, Austin, you want to
didn't he
comment
say something
on
like that
his
in a
last?
post game, not on Twitter?
Do you want to comment on his last 10? Is it objectively bad? Objectively bad?
Yeah, your turn,
They're not
Austin.
Jokic level.
Your turn right there.
35 points, 20 rebounds, and 11 assists is not. Are you serious right now?
Dead serious.
The prophecy is
Oh
going
my
to come
God.
for you, Nikola Jokic. It's
Yep.
okay.
I'm disappointed in both of you right now.
The prophecy must be fulfilled. Prophecy.
No.
Well, right now, Joel's leading based on NBA.com's MVP track.
It's so stupid. He shouldn't win it.
It's going to come.
Hold on. Joel Embiid.
It's going to
Was
come.
there like a bet or something that we had on this that Ren gets to take an L? Do you
When
remember?
Jokic doesn't win MVP?
Yeah.
I don't know what we had, honestly. I know it was something hilarious.
No, this is stupid.
It's going to be hilarious.
Oh wait, I gotta see something. I gotta see how many games Jokic has played. See if Ren has a way out of this.
Objectively bad? You get brownie points if you use the word objectively bad.
Yeah, you gotta say it's objectively. That was like no, it's Jokic. He's not missing a bunch of games.
Yeah.
He's
No.
played
not a little-
67. Embiid's played 62.
Huh.
So not that big of a difference.
Big Nikola Jokic plays 80 games.
He's not averaging a triple double.
Uh-oh.
He is at you seriously.
9.9 is not 10.
Everyone would call that a triple double.
You were in my class. I wouldn't round it up.
Would that be a triple double? A Russ triple double?
Yes,
No.
it's 9.9.
Uh-huh.
That is
It's
an
a little
accounting
anger in his
error.
voice.
I know. You put a little bass behind that.
I'm still stuck on objectively bad.
Objectively bad, Red. Come on.
Uh, great.
That's what got me. Like,
This is why we don't do things without Rehn.
Exactly. The episode just wouldn't have been as great.
all dumb.
Y'all dumb.
All dumb. What's going on tonight?
I did
Does
not
anybody
realize
wanna-
Embiid and Jokic were in the same draft class.
Yeah, I mean, you don't
I
realize
did
that
not
because
put that
Embiid
together.
missed like 5 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Shots fired at Embiid.
You know, if he had just taken some load management, he wouldn't have missed all those games.
He did load
Wow,
manage.
he really
He missed
did.
the games.
His first actual season was 2016.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
Do you
drafted in
not remember
14th.
the revolving doors of the process? Jaleel Okafor, Nerlens
still-
Noel.
I still
No, I
believe
do.
they
I
should have
just
kept Sam Hinkie in that building. But they
Yeah,
couldn't.
it's kind of
They
sad that
couldn't
he didn't get to bask in
see the process
glory.
to the end.
No one believed him it was going to happen. I
I'm
didn't believe it.
I did. I did the whole way. I'm telling you, if they would have kept Hinkie in that building, what happened with the 76ers would not have happened with the 76ers. Now, I don't know if that would be for better or for worse, but I'm telling you, like, they wouldn't have just blown their whole load after, getting Simmons and Embiid. They would have continued to build. But I don't know if that would have been good or bad. Regardless, Sam Hinkie for president. Sam Hinkie died for all our sins.
Do you have a? Is he like in an office anywhere now?
I have no idea, actually. Probably not because he died for all our sins.
No, he's not. He doesn't have a job.
Exactly. They flat
I really
out.
thought you were gonna say because he died. I was like, I did not realize that.
Would
He died
be
for all our
very
sins. Yeah.
All right. That's all the time we got tonight, guys. we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
Wow.
We're scraping the bottom of the barrel here. I'm
Wow.
tired now.
He's tired now.
I'm disappointed. I've got
Little
a
one's going to
great idea
bed.
for an episode. I think we'll do next week.
Okay.
You can Angelo is to thank for my idea for this because
You're welcome.
Did
Thank
you
you.
find
You're
out about
welcome.
it before
Hold
next
on. I need
Thursday?
to take my speech. I would like to thank the Academy, not Rehn, and for this prestigious award.
and also the idea comes from Austin's use of the term objectively bad. So I think next week we're going to
Objectively
get to
involved in
see
this.
how qualified we all actually are
Okay.
to do what we're doing. See if we actually know our basketball history or
Spoiler alert. Not a lot for me. Don't
yeah,
expect too much from me.
it's gonna be hilarious.
Oh, it's
So
good.
we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. See you.
See you. Bye.
Yeah.